currently. Okay. Hello everyone and welcome back to the current affairs session. This is Preeti Sagar. So we are going to discuss all such important articles which had been there in the discussion in past week. So first article of the day, that is about joint exercise in Gulf of Aden. That is between, good evening Shweta, India and Germany. So India and Germany had conducted joint exercise in Gulf of Aden. So Gulf of Aden, first you need to understand where is the location. So this is basically the location of this is nearby Arabian Sea and Indo-Ocean. So here you can see in the picture, which is at the left and right hand side. So Gulf of Aden, that is between Africa and West Asia. Here you can see that. Okay, and it is also nearby Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean. So who all countries are there? That is India and Germany. So navies of both the countries, India and Germany, they have conducted this joint exercise in Gulf of Aden on 26th of August this month. And this joint exercise had included helicopter landings as well as search and seizure operations. So basically, this is a naval exercise where helicopters had been used, and the purpose was, or you can say, why this had been conducted to, you can say, to explore the search and seizure operation. So exploration of searching and seizure operations in the ocean body. That was the purpose of this naval exercise between these two countries. Now, so frigate Trikand from Indian Navy had been exercised with German frigate called Bayern. Basically, these are what? These are two technologies, or these are those technologies had been used by India and Germany. So INS Trikand, basically this INS Trikand that had been deployed for anti-piracy. Okay, so frigate is what? That is an armament that has been used by India. That is, the name is INS Trikand. That is an armament. And from Germany, it was Bayern. So this is what? This had been deployed for anti-piracy patrol in the Gulf of Aden region. So basically, two countries, or if multilateral countries or multilateral exercises are being happening between the countries, so it is having for some, or it is having some purposes. So here, this India and Germany naval exercise or joint naval exercise, this is a bilateral exercise. So in this bilateral exercise, both the countries have conducted this exercise for the search and seizure operations. And here, what they will do, they will explore the measures regarding anti-piracy. So here, if both the countries will be there, they will patrol anti-piracy campaign, okay, or anti-piracy patrol will be taken place. So exercise between both the navies in the Indian Ocean, that is leg of Indo-Pacific deployment 2021, had enhanced the interoperability and facilitated exchange of best practices between them in the maritime domain. So what is the meaning of interoperation or interoperability? It means both the countries can access, they could have access to each other's technologies, okay, each other's frigates. Okay, for example, India and Germany, because they have conducted this joint drill. Okay, so by conducting this joint drill, whenever they are in the patrolling, so whenever they need each other's, or if a situation arises that India would require Germany's frigate to use, okay, for the operation, so that can be done by India at the Germany ship. Similarly, vice versa for Germany. So that is interoperation. And it will also facilitate exchange of best practices. Best practices means what? That is the drills or the techniques of the drills of both the countries. And with this exercise, what they do, they basically exchange it. Okay. Along with this, whenever they require to use each other's technology, okay, armaments, technologies, they can also do that. That is called best practices of both the countries in the maritime domain. So here, maritime domain means only in the water. Okay, so that is the significance of this exercise between India and Germany. Now, so about India and Germany defense ties. So navies of both the countries had conducted this first ever joint exercise in 2008. So naval exercise of these two countries had been started in 2008 after both the countries had signed an anti-piracy cooperation agreement in 2000. 2006. So after signing this agreement of anti-piracy cooperation, they conducted, or you can say they led this agreement to another level, that is by conducting a joint naval exercise. From 2008 they have started. So both the countries currently maintain an ongoing dialogue in the arena of commercial maritime security and cooperation in the area of anti-terrorism. So this is situated, or you can say this is limited to marine domain only. Okay. So they maintain, what is that? Anti-piracy. Anti-piracy, have you heard about pirates? Okay, basically anti-piracy means what? In the ocean bodies, what happens? Some illegal elements can be there, okay, who can lead to terrorism, okay, who can lead to looting of the commercial vessels of the countries. Okay, so that is what piracy is. Piracy means what? That looting or threatening the commercial vessels of the countries. All right. So here, anti-piracy campaign means that these countries will be having their presence militarily. So if anything or any situation arises where illegal elements can be seen in the water body and water body, they can destroy that. Okay. So frigates, if they have used like INS, what was the name of this? The India's one, that was INS Trikant. So that is what a frigate. It means that is an armament and destroyer. Okay, this is an armament and destroyer which has been used in this or deployed in this exercise. So by this destroyer and armament, what they can do, if any piracy related activities goes on or any threat to commercial vessels can be seen or can have presence in the Gulf of Aden, they can destroy it. Okay, that power it gives under this exercise. All right, so anti-piracy means what? That too against the terrorism or any anti-social activities in the maritime domain. All right, chalo. So both the countries, they maintain an online dialogue in the arena of commercial maritime security and cooperation in the area of anti-terrorism. So this is so whatever will be there, that will be for the maritime domain only. So here, that is what anti-terrorism area and security and cooperation. So cooperation means that both the countries will cooperate each other if any matter arises regarding security or regarding seizure in the Gulf of Aden, then regarding piracy related issues, regarding terrorism related issues in the Gulf of Aden area. Okay, so both the countries will cooperate each other. Now about military of Germany. So military of Germany, that has been principally structured to defend Eastern Europe and to support NATO. NATO is what? North Atlantic Treaty Organization. North Atlantic. Basically, NATO are the that is and a treaty organization of all such countries that lies in the North Atlantic Ocean. Okay, so it is this military of Germany that has been structured to defend Eastern Europe, where this country is located. Okay, and support NATO operations in the Western European Theater 2 operations. Okay, it means they will support NATO operations if all such countries who are member of the NATO, if they have such operations in the Western Europe, so Germany or military of Germany will support that operation. All right, operation, it means military operations. Then Germany does not have any sovereign territories in the Indo-Pacific region and is also incapable of power projections in the region, unlike France or UK. So basically, Germany, if we see, so they do not have any presence in the Indo-Pacific region. What is Indo-Pacific region? That is India, Indo-Ocean and Pacific Ocean region. So the region or maritime region which is lying between both the oceans. So Germany did not have any presence over there. And they were incapable of power projections in this region. It means they cannot use their power if situation arises. No power projections of Germany had been there like UK or France, what they have. So by establishment of India and Germany relations, what they have got. So in Europe, Germany is India's largest trading partner, and India's export to Germany mainly focuses on textile sector, chemical products, metal and leather goods, electrical engineering products, and foodstuffs. So these are those stuffs which India and Germany having their trade in. Okay, they are trading partner in these products. And Germany also plays a key role in India and European Union free trade talks that is called bilateral trade and investment agreement. So Germany is part of European Union, okay, and that is India's largest trading partner in the Europe. And Germany is playing a key role in the free trade talks, okay, which is called bilateral trade and investment agreement. Further, India also can act as a hot destination for the companies of Germany to invest and contribute in Make in India program. So this is the significance of India and Germany relationship, that Germany can feed, or India can India can be the hot destination for all such products what Germany investments from Germany can come, or you can say Germany can feed India's investment, or investment in India, and it can also contribute in the assertion of the Make in India program that has been launched by India in 2015, okay, in various sectors. So Make in India program of India, if we talk about, so that is what, that is manufacturing to be taken place in India and by India. So there are lots of sectors, various sectors are there, defense sector are there, automobile sectors are there, where Make in India program has to make successful. Food processing industries are there. So different sectors are there where Make in India program, government's initiative was there in 2015, which came in 2015. So under this program, this initiative was to boost up the manufacture in India. Okay, and what we require a huge investment into it. So Germany can feed in that investment in our country. So this is about their relationship, and moreover, it is an economic relationship which both the countries shares. Okay, and that is very strong one. And security relation, or defense relationship, or defense cooperation, you can say, that is in the name of this bilateral exercise. All right. Any questions in this? You can ask here, else I'll move on to the next one. Yeah. Next article, India Maldives Pact on Greater Malay Connectivity Project. So summary of this article, if I say, so India basically is going to help Maldives to in the infrastructure development and to provide connectivity to Greater Malay. Okay, Malay is the capital of Maldives. So both the countries have signed a pact, India and Maldives, that have signed the pact, where Maldives on the that is one of the major connectivity initiatives, which is called Greater Malay Connectivity Project. So that is Malay's or Maldives major connectivity initiative, which is called as Greater Malay Connectivity Project. So under this agreement, India will start largest ever infrastructure project, which is named as Greater Malay Connectivity Project in the Maldives. So under this project, India will help. Why does Germany conduct its naval exercise which are far off from its coast? Basically, Gulf of Eden, if you see, that is the nearest point where India and Germany can have this exercise. Okay, and it is not only limited to Gulf of Eden only. So if they want to hold this exercise in Indo-Ocean, they can also do that, because it is lying nearby India. Wherever they or any water body which is nearby Germany, they can also have such exercise over there. Okay, so basically, countries, or as per the international norms, they have to go through, and both the countries, or if bilateral exercise is there, or trilateral, or multilateral exercise that is there. So on the basis of the nearby stretch or nearby water body, they can have these, or nearby of both the countries, they can have such exercise. Okay. Another thing is that which water body is having such what is to be called piracy related issues or terrorism related issues, and whether these countries are having access to this water body or not. Basically, if you see Gulf of Eden, so it may stretch for Germany in the that is called exclusive economic zone. Okay, so it may have Germany's access. Then Germany can conduct this exercise in this water body, and this is also nearest to India, because it is lying in the it is nearby the Indo Ocean. All right, Indo and Arabian Sea. So that can happen. Chalo. Yeah, so Greater Malay Connectivity Project. So it is what a connectivity project which is going to be feeding by India already. By some investments. So for this project, India has granted $100 million. So two ways India will help: by providing or issuing grant that is of $100 million. And apart from this grant, India will provide a line of credit of 400 million rupees. Okay, so $100 million grant India has given, and 400 million rupees India has given as a line of credit. So line of credit, it means that India is giving it as a loan. Okay, so 400 million rupees India has given as a loan on which India can seek return in the near future. But 100 million grant which India had issued to Maldives, it means that that is in the form of gift. Okay, that is in the form of gift for which there is no return to India. So two ways India is helping Maldives, that is by issuing 100 million grant and 400 million line of credit. So this Greater Malay Connectivity Project, that is a flagship project of President Soli's presidency and will be an enduring symbol of India-Maldives partnership. This project will be started to connect business, people, and industry. So here, by helping of India in this Greater Malay Connectivity Project, it will connect business, it will connect people, and it will also connect industries from India to Maldives. So this will comprise of the construction of a 6.74-kilometer long bridge and causeway link. Okay, so this causeway link will be used for the movement of people, goods, everything. Both will connect the capital city Malé with adjoining islands of Tilagushi, Willingly, and Gulhi Falu. So these are those islands which through which this Malé, that is the capital city, will be connected through this Greater Malay Connectivity Project. And this project had been planned during the visit of our External Affairs Minister to Malay in September 2019. So this initiative had already been discussed in 2019, but due to COVID-19 in 2020, it had been delayed. Now they have initiated to work upon this, and India has provided loans and grants to Malay or Maldives for the construction of this project. Now, what is the significance of the project? So agreement between the country had been over this project, Greater Malay Connectivity Project. It proves that India is a robust development partner of Maldives, and it also the first responder in the times of any emergency in Maldives. So if you see the location of Maldives, that is nearest to Indian Ocean. Okay, and India, by this establishment of relationship with Maldives, or by investing in this connectivity project, India has become first responder in the time of emergency in Maldives. And another significance which has not been discussed over here, that Maldives, which is, if we say from the point of view of international relations, so where Chinese threat can be seen or Chinese intervention can be seen in Maldives, so India had somewhere, it has tried to, recover from that threat or try to ignore that threat. Okay, if it will help Maldives, or it will provide line of credit to Maldives, then India's upper hand will be there, and Chinese exertion in Maldives can be minimized. Okay, so that is another Chinese factor in Maldives, which India has saved from. So it is only the biggest project by India in Maldives, but also the biggest infrastructure project overall in the island nation. It provides a major boost to Maldivian economy, as well as the connectivity between 4 islands that we have discussed, from Malay to 3 islands that had been mentioned over here: Tilagushi, Willingly, and Gulhi Falu. Okay. So it will provide connectivity between the 4 islands that accounts for about half of the Maldivian population. So Malay, by connecting these 3 islands, so these 4 islands are having almost 50% population of Maldivian population, and that is why it was required, it was needed, or a need of the time, that connectivity need to be provided so that it can help to help in the movement of people, business, and investments. All right. Now, largest connectivity project. So far, largest connectivity project in Maldives is that is the Sina Malay bridge of 1.4 kilometer that had been completed in 2018, and it was built under Chinese assistance, which connects Malay with Hulhule and Hulhu Malay. Now, see, China has already assisted Maldives in the construction of Sina Malay bridge. Okay, so Sina Malay bridge, that is 1.4 kilometer, and India is going to help. Maldives in the construction of 6.74 kilometer. Here you can see that. Okay, so so this project is 7.4 kilometer, which is going to connect these these three islands with Malay. So here, India's upper hand would be there, where Chinese assistance had been seen in the past. So now India will surpass it. India is going to help Malay in the greater initiative or greater project, you can say. So that will be another positive step for India. Now, and it will be another positive step towards its relationship with Maldives. So India's investment in Maldives, if we talk about, so connectivity between India and Maldives, that is the key partnership aspect between both the countries. And to maintain this partnership, a direct cargo ferry service had been started in September 2020 that connected Tuticorin, Kochi, Malé, and Kulhofushi. Okay, so two ports of India, that is Tuticorin and Kochi, and two of Maldives, that is Malé and Kulhofushi. So India had also started an air travel bubble with the Maldives in August 2020. All right, so these investments had been taken place between India and Maldives, and now India is helping in the new initiative, that is Greater Malay Connectivity Project. Any questions in this? You can ask here. Any questions? Now, next. No questions? So, okay. Chalo. All right, no issues. Next article is about launching of EASE 4.0. So fourth version of EASE had been launched by Finance Minister. So Union Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman, has launched, just a moment, guys. Yeah. So she has launched this fourth edition of Public Sector Bank Reforms Agenda that is named as EASE 4.0 for the financial year 2021 and 2022. Basically, this EASE is what? That is, so it has come under in the fourth version. Okay, so fourth version of EASE is there. And this is what? This is what's the reform agenda for the public sector banks. So basically, public sector banks, we have seen in the past, lots of issues had been there. For example, PNB, Punjab National Bank, had faced highest NPA, basically what happens, public sector banks, because of their ease in the providing a line of credit to businessmen or corporate. So what happens when they provide loans or huge loans to big corporates, so they provide this loan in the hope that they will get a good return on it. But after some time, companies or corporates, they declare themselves bankrupt or they flee away from the country. So in that situation, what happens? The balance sheet of that corporate that had been stressed, okay, it becomes stressed one. Apart from this, the loan which banks or public sector banks had given to the commercial corporate bodies or corporates, so that also go under stress. And because of this NPA issue, that is non-performing asset, that gets created. So that loan converts into bad loan, and bad loan get converted into NPA. It means that becomes those assets. Basically, whenever bank provide loans to individuals or companies or corporates, big corporates, so it is what it is, an asset of the bank. So basically, this asset, this loan which bank had provided to the people or to the corporates, that is not performing. It means no return bank is getting, so it becomes non-performing asset. Because of this, what happened, the capital of public sector banks that go under stress. Okay, because why huge capital is required to open a public sector bank? Because if any shock comes, that can act as a shock absorber. Okay, shock absorber. So in this situation, what has happened, because of huge NPA of banks, public sector banks had went under stress. Okay, their capital had shrunken because they had to, obviously, if any banking system is there, whatever economic activity goes in the country, that goes in the hope that it will give profit. And it becomes one of the parameter for the development of the, or economic development of the country. That happens. Banking is the major sector in that. Okay, because everything, every monetary inflow, outflow, whatever it happens under it happens via banks. Okay, so when public sector banks faces such issues, then a requirement arises to have some reforms into it. So this reform was named as ease. Okay, and the fourth version had been announced by finance minister or launched by finance minister recently for the financial year 2021-22. So it is simplified, tech-enabled, and collaborative banking. So in this 4.0 version, this ease had made simplified, it is tech-enabled, and providing collaborative banking. So on the occasion, Finance Minister launched the annual report of Public Sector Bank Reform Agenda, that was EASE 3.0 for the year 2020-21, and also witnessed the awards ceremony to felicitate the best performing banks on EASE 3.0 Banking Reforms Index. So under this announcement, she announced about those banks who had performed better. Okay, and award had been felicitated to those best performing banks on EASE 3.0 Banking Reforms Index as well. Now, who all are best performing banks on EASE 3.0? So basically SBI, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India. Acha, banking, it doesn't only about providing loans. Okay, it is also about these extension of banking facilities to population of the country or to citizens of the country. So basically there is a concept of money multiplier. What happens if you are depositing your money into the bank? So what happens with the help of money multiplier? Basically you have deposited, you get interest on it. Okay, whatever money you have deposited, now bank is having that money, bank can lend that money further. Okay, so by doing this, what bank does? Bank basically multiplies the money. Okay, and when that situation comes, when people are taking loan and they are not paying it back, so in that situation, that asset goes under the stress and it impacts the capital of the bank and health of financial health of the bank. Basically that happens. So here in this EASE 3.0, SBI, Bank of Baroda, and Union Bank of India, they had won the awards for the best performing banks on the basis of EASE index. Okay, so remember these three names: SBI, Bank of Baroda, and Union Bank of India. All right. Now, so Indian Bank won the award for the best improvement for baseline performance, and SBI, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India, and Punjab National Bank and Canara Bank, they also won the top awards across different themes of public sector banks reforms agenda, that is under EASE 3.0. Okay, so these such names are there: SBI, Bank of Baroda, and Union Bank of India, who had given the award for the best performing banks. Okay, on the basis of EASE index. And Indian Bank had won the award for best improvement. It means it had improved itself from the baseline performance. And then SBI, Bank of Baroda, Union Bank of India, PNB, and Canara Bank, they also won the top awards across different themes. Okay, for different themes on the reforms agenda of public sector bank under EAS 3.0. Okay, so basically if I say EAS, okay, so EAS is what? Enhanced access and service excellence. It means they have to enhance access for what? Access to public. Okay, enhancement, it means improvement. So enhance access and service excellence. So so under this EAS, what they have to do, they have to improve their access to the people of the country, citizens of the country, or financial facility access. Okay, apart from this, they have to provide service excellence. It means how excellent services they are providing it to the people of the country. Okay, so that is what EAS is: enhanced access and service excellence. Now, what all reforms had taken under EAS 4.0? So EAS 4.0 reforms took after 4 key initiatives that to be adopted by the public sector banks. These are what? That is smart lending backed by analytics. Then 24/7 banking with resilient technology and cloud-based IT systems. Then data-enabled agriculture financing and collaboration with the financial ecosystem. So 4 things had been adopted, or key initiatives had been adopted. Smart lending backed by analytics. Lending, it means they have to provide loan to the people. Okay. So here smart lending, what does that mean? It means by the analytics. So analysis has to be done. That will be done on the basis of technology, by using technology. So in the analysis or analytics, what they will do? They will find out whether the loanee is already under the loan, okay, whether he is able to pay the loan or not. All right. So how they analyze? They analyze on the basis of its banking transactions, okay, for a year, for 2 years, or for 6 months, so whatever is the requirement. So your smart lending will be provided, that will be backed by proper analytics. Then 24/7 banking with resilient technology and cloud-based IT system. 24/7 banking. Okay, so 24/7, it means what? That for 24 hours and 7 days in a week, it means for the whenever you need banking facilities regarding loans, regarding any facility of banking system, that is available to you 24/7 with resilient technology. It means technology which supports all the time, and cloud-based IT system will be there. So this is tech enabled. Then data enabled agriculture financing. Data enabled. So agriculture financing means what? That finance or funding that needs for the agricultural requirement. Okay, for example, if farmers need loans for different inputs, outputs, okay, for different purposes in the agriculture field. So agriculture financing will be taken place, but that will be data enabled. It means the banking system would have all such data regarding agricultural facilities, okay, regarding agricultural land, regarding all the details of the farmers. So that will be data enabled. Next, collaboration with the financial ecosystem. So whatever financial services customers are required, that will have all such details with the banks. Okay, so banks will have all such details, and they will provide proper financial system. Okay, so collaboration with the financial ecosystem. So these are 4 key initiatives under this EAS 4.0 reforms by this public sector banks. Now, how public sector banks will enable smart lending, how they will do it. So to enable smart lending under this 4.0 version, these banks are required to design and improve the performance of the loan initiation process. They will simplify it on the basis of smart standard operating procedures and time-bound actions. So standard operating procedures are what? That is SOPs. Okay, it means proper operating procedures would be there. It means there is a standard what they have made. Okay, standard SOPs are what? These are proper rules that has been framed, or guidelines that has been framed. 4th reform, financial ecosystem, collaboration with the financial ecosystem. For example, if any farmer that need loan for or any insurance facility it requires, so loan banking will provide. Okay, ecosystem means what? That anything which is related to finances. Okay, financial ecosystem. So they if they want insurance, if they want loans, so everything will be available to the banking system. Okay, they will provide that and they have collaboration with insurance sector, they have collaboration with further other sectors, whatever facility any customer requires. All right. Okay. So here what they will do under this smart lending, so they will require to design improve performance of the loan initiation process, and they will simplify it on the basis of standard operating procedure. So SOPs, the standard operating procedure is the proper rules and guidelines to provide loans, so that banks will have, and the loan will be provided on the time bound basis. Okay, so it will be time bound. It means, for example, if any person approaches to bank for the loan, so sometimes it happens, it may take longer time, okay, in the initiation of loan. So that will not be there under smart lending. All right. Then they are also required to introduce end-to-end digitized loans for new customers. Okay, introduce end-to-end digitized loans. Okay, digitized loans means the initiation will be digitally. For example, it is what, 24/7 it is available. Okay, so if anybody wants to apply for the loan, so digitally this facility is also available end to end. For example, if a person wants to take loan through internet, through portal or through mobile application, that person connects with the bank. Okay, so end to end means what? One end is customer, another end is bank. Okay, and digitized loans for the new customer. So new customer approaches bank. New customer does not have time to go to bank because he's a service class person. Another thing is, another reason maybe COVID-19 situation is there. Then what he can do, so through a portal or applications, he can connect with the bank. So this is another end, and bank is the another end. And digitized loans, so on the digital mode only this loan can be resolved. This loan can be provided by following all such SOPs and whatever their procedures are. Then they will have to broaden customer base and increase credit offtake by means of analytics and technology driven credit offers. So here customer base has to be broadened. It means they have to reach to the customers as much as they can, and they have to increase credit offtake by means of analytics. Offtakes means what? To give credit. Okay, offtake means to give credit. So here customer base had to be broadened. It means they have to connect with more and more customers. They have to increase credit offtakes. It means they have to provide credit to the customers by means of analytics. Analytics I have already discussed, that they have to analyze whether the background of this customer is clear or not, whether he is able to pay back the loan or not, whether he is already under the loan or not. So lots of issues are there. Okay, lots of questions are there. So that have to be analyzed. And technology driven credit offers. Okay, it means credit offers, various types of credit offers are there, which is attractive towards the customer. Okay, so they can come up with these things. So this is what smart lending approach under PSB is there. All right. So this is all about all about EASE 4.00. These are reforms which had been taking place in this fourth version. Any questions in this? You can ask here. TK Navya, are you able to understand what is the fourth point? The ecosystem, it means various services what banking provides. So there will be a collaboration of the bank with other facilities. Okay, and it will connect the customer through these facilities, whatever facilities have been provided. Chalo. Beta, that is what I have said. For example, ecosystem, financial ecosystem. What can be the procedures in the ecosystem or financial ecosystem? In the financial ecosystem, loans can be given, deposition can be taken place, credit can be given. Okay, smaller credit. Okay, then insurance can be go for. So these are what? These are those facilities which are provided in the financial ecosystem. And if any individual wants any of these facilities, that banks can be collaborate with these stakeholders. For example, if any customer wants, for example, wants to take credit card, okay, on some offers. Basically, credit cards, whenever any customer takes, it takes by analyzing all such things. What should be the what would be the interest rate? What would be the procedure of let's say payment of the credit? All right, what offers they are getting on the various products. So everything it comes, okay, regarding credit. So if customer wants, then here one top solution would be there, that this the customer would contact, or customer would establish a contact with any of the public sector banks, okay, through under this 4.0 version. So here that ecosystem will provide a collaboration. It means credit card, if any customer wants of any of the banks, offers will be provided at one center and customer can take that. Similarly, because banks are having collaborations, similarly insurance, that can also be part of this ecosystem, financial ecosystem. So if customer wants insurance, so obviously how it will get, how much premium he has to pay, what amount he will get at the maturity, and what would be the what's say what is that um, uh, what is that? For example, frequency, yeah, frequency to pay premiums. So lots of things are there. Okay, so here everything can be provided at one center, and that can be resolved by the collaboration of that. For example, insurance facility has to be given to the customer. The customer had inquired for that. So because collaboration is there with the insurance sector, so here customer can get answer of it. Okay, or facility of insurance over here. All right, Shweta. Chalo. Now, next article, that is fifth edition of Indo-Kazakhstan Joint Training Exercise. Kazakhstan, basically, it is one of the countries of Central Asia. All right. And Kazakhstan, basically, India is already partnered with Kazakhstan in this Shanghai Cooperation Agreement, organization. All right. So here, fifth edition of joint training exercise has been held between India and Kazakhstan. So what is the meaning of this joint training exercise? We'll talk about that. So basically here, fifth edition has been, that has to be held from 30th of August to 11 September. So it will be somewhere 11, 12 days long. So fifth edition of this joint training exercise will be held. The name of this exercise is what? Kaz Ind. It means Kazakhstan's Kaz and India's Ind. So Kaz Ind 21 is to be conducted from 30th August to September 11, 2021. And this joint training exercise is that will be conducted as a part of military diplomacy. So military diplomacy of India and Kazakhstan had been established, and under this military diplomacy, joint training exercise will be held. Joint training, it means military training of India and Kazakhstan on the basis of the best techniques of both the countries' military. All right, that is what military diplomacy is. So it seeks to strengthen the growing strategic relations with the Kazakhstan. Training exercise will be conducted at Aisha Bibi in Kazakhstan. So Aisha Bibi, that was considered as a very noble lady, and this is so in Kazakhstan there is a mausoleum of Aisha Bibi, where this joint military drill will be conducted, or exercise will be conducted in Kazakhstan. All right. So what is the significance of this exercise? So basically, this exercise will help in boosting bilateral relationship between India and Kazakhstan, because it is a bilateral exercise, joint military of both the countries. So it is what? That is bilateral. So bilateral military cooperation, it will strengthen between India and Kazakhstan. And when military cooperation is being there, then it will also strengthen their economic ties as well. They can also lead towards economic ties. Okay, so it will provide an opportunity for the armed forces of India and Kazakhstan to train for counter-insurgency, counter-terrorism operation across mountainous and rural scenarios in accordance with the United Nations mandate. It means in the line of United Nations. It means United Nations had framed law for the world, okay, for the countries of the world. So under that mandate, India and Kazakhstan will train each other's military, where they can get training for the counter insurgency. It means if insurgencies occurs, they can counter insurgency, they can counter terrorism issue or operations across the mountainous and rural scenarios. Basically insurgencies and terrorism, where you can find these type of issues in those areas which is very much disturbed, especially border areas. So India's border areas, if you see, so in the northern side it is lying, or it is what's say Himalaya is there, mountainous region is there. Then insurgency or insurgent areas, these are what, moreover it is northeastern states. Okay, recently Assam and Manipur had involved in the what's say border tensions. Insurgent groups, insurgencies, basically those insurgent groups are those disturbing groups which have their particular demand, for example making up of new nation, new state, okay, on the basis of ethnicity, on the basis of their own culture. That India is dealing the problem. Okay, so here Kazakhstan, because it is also that used to be an ethnic, okay, country. So there also these issues are there. So both the countries had established this military diplomacy, under which they will have joint military training exercise, joint training exercise, where they will train each other's military to and train for counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations in the mountainous region and rural scenarios, okay, as per the United Nations mandate. It also further help in strengthening mutual confidence, interoperability, and enable sharing of best practices between armies of both the countries. Three things have been mentioned. Mutual confidence, it means they will establish confidence on each other. Okay, military confidence on each other, mutual confidence on each other. Next is what? Interoperability means what? That they can operate each other's or what say whatever technologies are there. So interoperation means that they can use or they can operate each other's technology or each other's warfare, okay, in this situation if arises. And enable sharing of best practices. Sharing of best practices means what? That technology, okay, technology or sharing of technologies of best performance, okay, best practices. So whatever their best technologies are, they can share, okay, they can use it together. Then background. So fourth edition of this Kazin had been taken place in 2019, and it was held in Uttarakhand. Okay, so it is an annual event, but the fifth edition will be conducted after a gap of 1 year because of COVID-19 situation. All right. So this Kazin, the exercise, that is a military exercise which is conducted alternatively in Kazakhstan and India. So last time in 2019 it was in India in Uttarakhand, and now this year it is in Kazakhstan. So during the exercise, armies of both the countries shared their experience that they have gained while conducting several counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism operations. Now see here, what is the theme of the exercise? That is counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism. Similarly, we discussed about India, Germany. What was the theme of their exercise? That was Caesar and security. Okay, security and Caesar in the maritime domain. All right, and it was anti-piracy campaign. So there are particular themes on which countries can have their exercises, whether it is military, air force, or naval exercise. All right. So here the theme theme of Kazin exercise, that is counter-insurgency and counter-terrorism. So it also involves the aspects of emerging trends of hybrid warfare. Hybrid, it means mixture of technologies, hybrid warfare. All right. Then what is hybrid warfare? So it refers to the use of unconventional methods under multi-domain warfighting approach with the aim of disrupting and disabling actions of opponents without engaging in open hostilities. Like Russia had used this approach in Ukraine in the form of hybrid warfare that has involved the combination of activities like economic manipulation, disinformation, use of proxies and insurgencies, etc. Okay, so here what it has been said that this cousin exercise, it is involving the aspects of emerging trends of hybrid warfare. So hybrid warfare, what it has said, what is the meaning of it? It means, for example, without using any technological or technology of warfare. Okay, so hybrid means what? That it is weakening any country, or yeah, country you can say. So weakening any country, what is that? Through multiple models. Okay, so so weakening can be done economically. So economically they can hamper. Okay, economic disturbance can be created in the country, disinformation can be spread. All right, then proxies can be used, and insurgencies can be infused, okay, in the country. So these are what hybrid warfare. So it is to weaken the country. Okay, to weaken the country by using this hybrid warfare. And so this is another, or this is a new or trending warfare. Okay, so this cousin exercise, basically they have included this hybrid warfare in the exercise, or this method in the exercise. All right, any questions in this you can ask here. No, it is not like Cold War. Okay, Cold War, basically it is what? That cold relationship between the countries. So here it is not like Cold War. Okay, it is what? Just to weakening of the country. Okay, weakening the country. All right, so here and that is what? That is just to, if any situation arises, if these countries are having hostile relations. So basically India does not India has never used these type of warfare or unconventional warfares. But for example, India and Pakistan's relationship is like, or always it is hostile and tense. So in that situation this can be used. So it is not like a Cold War situation, but it can be used in such a situation if situation arises. All right. Chalo, no questions? Shall I move ahead? Next is what? Cabinet approves highest ever FRP for sugarcane. What is FRP? That is fair and remunerative prices. So Union Cabinet has improved highest ever fair and remunerative prices for the sugarcane farmers on 25th August 2021. And this fair and remunerative prices that had been increased for rupees 290 per quintal for 2020-21, and the price will be based on 10% recovery. Okay, so sugarcane, basically sugarcane is what? That is a commercial crop, okay, which is having multiple uses in the ethanol blending, then for the what's say consumption purpose. Another thing is that if we see the benefits of sugarcane, so India is the second largest producer of sugar in the world. All right, and many of these states, they are now bending towards the production of sugarcane. Farmers, the production, if we see, so it takes time, okay, in the ripening of the sugarcane. So sugarcane, basically if it is located, the farm is located nearby sugar industries, then it is feasible for the farmers as well, because it somewhere reduces the chances of loss. All right, so here fair and remunerative prices had been fixed for the farmers. So what is the meaning of this fair and remunerative price? Remuneration, it means they can get some return of it. Remuneration, okay. And fair, that it will be it will fair enough that it will help farmers, because farmers have invested invested their money in the production of sugarcane, all right, which is having lots of benefits, but these benefits are with lots of what say disadvantages as well. All right, I just come on that. So this FRP for sugar cane, that has increased to rupees. It means whatever the per quintal rupees is there. So 290 rupees had been incremented in this in this year's fair and remunerative prices, and this will be based on the 10% recovery. For example, if sugar cane production faces losses, okay. For example, production had ruined, okay, it had got ruined. Farmers are not getting better price in return, okay. So under this new FRP, what they will get, they will be assured that in case of any ill wills, or in case any what say, if in case production of sugarcane they faces loss, okay. So what will be what will be the procedure, or what will be the silver lining, basically not procedure but silver lining. So silver lining is that whatever production had been taking place, they will at least get 10% of it. So 10% recovery will be provided to the farmer, so that they cannot bear the entire loss amount. All right. So if recovery is less than 9.5%, then farmers will be given a price or FRP of rupees 275 per quintal. All right. So if it is less than 10% or less than 9.75%, then they will be given FRP at 275 per quintal. Otherwise, it will be 290 per quintal. So this approval is the highest ever of FRP, and it is going to benefit 5 crore sugarcane farmers and their dependents, and also provide benefit to 5 lakh workers who are employed in the sugar mills and related ancillary activities. Ancillary activities, it means adjoining activities which is related to sugar cane production or sugar mills, okay. So it has been increased for marketing year October to September. All right. Now, so another usage of sugarcane, that is ethanol blending. So use of ethanol, that is increasing fast in the recent years. Currently, 7.5 to 8% ethanol is being blended into the petrol, and percentage of ethanol blended in the petrol, that is likely to increase by 20%. That is 20% ethanol blending that has already been admitted by the government in the coming 2-3 years. All right. So that is another use of sugarcane. So here you can see if this ethanol blending will be taking place, then obviously technology is required, setup is required, manpower is required. So it will open up the avenues of all the things. For example, technology, employment. So it will help in many other ways. Then what is fair and remunerative prices? Basically, this is what minimum price at which sugar cane is being purchased by sugar mills from the farmers. So it is remunerative prices. It means the producers or the farmers, they will get remuneration on it. Okay. So that is what the minimum price at which sugarcane will be purchased by the sugar mills from the farmers. So this is fixed by union government, that is based on the recommendations on the Commission of Agricultural Cost and Prices, that is CACP. And it is determined under Sugarcane Control Order of 1966. This FRP is determined by the considering various factors like cost of production, what it has taken place, domestic and international prices of the sugarcane production, demand and supply situation, and intercrop price parity. Okay, parity means what? Differences. So intercrop price differences, that is another consideration or another factor under consideration to determine the FRP. So this has been determined under Sugar Control Order 1966. So what is the significance of this FRP that has been revised by the government? So basically, it provides a margin to the farmers irrespective of the fact that sugar mills are generating a profit or not. It means a price had been fixed to give return to the farmers whatever investments they have taken place in the production of sugarcane. Okay, whether sugar mills are having profit onto it or not, it doesn't matter, but they have to give money, they have to give remuneration or fair and price remuneration to the farmers, because farmer has invested its time, invested its money, invested its input cost in the production of sugarcane. All right. And it happens whenever sugar production takes place, sugarcane production takes place in the higher amount, what happens? The demand goes down because production has taken place in the vast amount. Okay. So whenever production will be less, then amount will be increased because of high demand and lack of supply. Okay. So whenever commodity is in the higher or that is vast available, then demand decreases because of its availability. Okay. Plenty of availability. Demand decreases, so supply will also also impacted. And whenever production takes place at the lower pace, okay, it has hampered, then supply somewhere disrupted because of lack of availability, and demand increases. So because of lack of supply and increase in demand, the price gets increased. So here a minimum guaranteed price is given to the farmers so that they can save themselves from any type of losses in the sugarcane production. All right. So this price is applicable across the country uniformly. And some states like Haryana, Punjab, UP, Uttarakhand, and Tamil Nadu, they have announced a state advised price, which is usually higher than the FRP. All right. So this is the situation. Any questions in this? You can ask here. Any questions? Chalo, next article is about Havana syndrome. Okay, so this is related to health basically. So Havana syndrome that has been reported first in the diplomats who was stationed in Cuba in 2016. So for the first time, it has been reported. And this is what? This is an experience of a strange set of symptoms that has prompted a series of government and scientific investigations. Like some officials, they have called it anomalous health incidents, or some has called it as an attack. Okay, it means it was human involvement was there in the syndrome. So recent cases had been reported in Asia in 2018 and Central Europe in 2021. So what this syndrome is all about? So basically Havana is what? That is a place in USA. Okay. So syndrome is a series of unexplained medical systems that had been experienced first by US State Department's personnel who were based in Cuba in 2016. And State Department had also reported such cases in 2018 in China. Symptoms are that includes headache, dizziness, fatigue, anxiety, nausea, cognitive difficulties, memory loss of varying severity. All right. So what is the cause behind this syndrome? So basically, it was believed that this syndrome is the result of an attack by a sonic or acoustic weapon. It means it was not natural. Okay, it had been done to disturb the officials or to disturb the people by attacking through a sonic or acoustic weapon, which you cannot feel. Okay, you cannot hear it, you cannot see it. So sonic boom had come, or acoustic weapon, through acoustic weapon that has been sent, so or attacked with. So later, a comprehensive analysis by a US scientific panel had pointed that the exposure of a type of direct energy is the main culprit of it. So different medical assessments had been conducted in 2018, and it has noted that exposure to microwaves is the main cause behind it. So Havana syndrome, basically that is a health ailment which is related to nausea, let's headache, dizziness, fatigue, memory loss, cognitive difficulties as well. which is because of the exposure to microwaves. All right. So earlier it was said that some because of sonic or acoustic warfare, it has been that is the reason behind it. But later on in 2018, it was invented or it was found out that microwave is the real reason behind this syndrome. All right. Any questions in this? You can ask here. No questions? No one? Direct energy means it has not been attacked by any people, but it has been attacked technologically. Okay, for example, it was said that sonic boom or acoustic weapon has been sent. So it is what that is in the form of energy, not in the form of people or not in the form of any warfare. Okay, so direct energy means that some technology is behind this syndrome or this disease. All right. Then later on, it was found out that microwave is the real reason behind it. So microwave had been used in the form of different technologies or in the form of various warfares. Okay. Like, for example, if there is high intensity warfare, which is, you can say, what is that? That uses microwave, all right, or microwave technology. So it is what? That is directed energy. Okay, type of directed energy. And directed means that it has technology is in a way that direction has been given where it has to attack. Okay, directed energy. So this is all technology enabled. Direction has been enabled into it where it has to attack the mind of the people or the body of the people, or so that is what directed energy is. Okay, the usage, how it will be used. Okay, Karan, you have asked this, right? Chalo. Now, beta, these type of acoustic weapons or sonic weapons, those countries who's having nuclear weapons, they might be using it. All right. These are high technology weapons. So those countries who are developed or who are developing, so they might be using it. All right. These are secret form of or secret weapons, basically. So no country declares or no country opens up about its usage. All right. So these are technology basically in the which is used in the form of weapons. Chalo. Next is what? India, Philippines conduct naval exercise in South China Sea. Now see, South China Sea, which is already tensed. Okay, China always claims its claim on South China Sea, where Southeast Asian countries are part of ASEAN countries, members of ASEAN countries like Philippines. So it always having hostile situation or hostile relation with India because of its claim over South China Sea. All right. So India and Philippines has conducted this naval exercise in the South China Sea. Although China claims on the South China Sea, but it does not belong to China only. All right. So claiming means what? Claiming means that the resources of the South China Sea that had been claimed. Okay, not the water, but the ecosystem, the resources of the marine domain. Okay, the flora, fauna, whatever it is, for economic purpose, for military purpose, that had been used. Okay, that had been claimed for. So India and Philippines had conducted this naval exercise in the South China Sea on 23rd August 2021. This exercise had been conducted 5 days after conducting a similar drill with Vietnam in the region. India and Vietnamese navies had conducted the naval exercise on 18th of August. So first, it has started with Vietnam. Later on, it has continued with Philippines. So this is the region that is witnessing growing Chinese military expansionism. Okay, just to claim the territory of the South China Sea, China is expanding with the help of its military. Basically, China's military is very strong. You might have heard about it wherever Chinese investment can be seen. Okay, for example, we have discussed about Maldivian project. Okay, Great Malay Connectivity Project. So before this Great Malay Connectivity Project, China has helped Maldives to build a 1.4-kilometer bridge, okay, to provide connectivity. So it means when China has helped, it has not only helped monetarily, it has also helped militarily. Why? Whenever such investments China do, so China send its military for the construction. Okay, similarly here, China, so that is why Chinese military is very strong and very skillful. They know how to work in each and every situation. For example, that face-off between India and India and China in the Ladakh region. So what military was doing? Chinese military. Okay. Similarly, when Doklam issue has happened, what they did, they started constructing road. So they did not have any labor. Only Chinese military became the labor over there. Okay, they are equipped with all such skills and technologies, basically. So here as well, South China, in the South China Sea, Chinese military expansion can be seen. It also witnessed this growing Chinese military expansion, so always been disturbed. So Indian Navy had deployed its guided missile destroyer INS Run Vijay. This is what guided missile destroyer, guided. It means it has all such technology and guiding, okay, pre-guided it is. It means technology is used such a way that where it has to attack, that had already been enabled, okay, that had already been guided, okay, and it destroy its target. So that is the name of this guided missile destroyer, that is INS Run Vijay, and guided missile corvette, that is INS Kora. Okay, this is another type of missile, guided missile corvette. So while Philippine Navy had deployed its frigate kind of armament, okay, armory, BRP Antonio Luna in this exercise. Okay, so these are those destroyer and missiles or frigates which has been used from both these sides. Joint exercise included several operational maneuvers. Maneuvers, it means it is helpful in all such scenario, okay, and it is equipped with all such technological skills. So participating ships were satisfied with the consolidation of interoperability that was achieved through this operational interaction at the sea. Okay. Now, what was the objective of this exercise? So bilateral exercise had been conducted with the objective of the strengthening bilateral collaboration in the maritime domain in the order to ensure a stable, peaceful and prosperous Indo-Pacific Ocean. So to provide stability, peaceful and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific Ocean, that was the objective of this bilateral bilateral exercise or naval exercise. Now, as I've said, there is tension between China and Philippines over South China Sea. So what this dispute is all about? So military drill is significant in considering the fact that Philippines government call the eastern parts of the South China Sea as West Philippine Sea. All right. So the eastern part of the South China Sea, which Philippines calls it West Philippine Sea. And at the other side, China claims sovereignty over all South China Sea as it is a huge source of hydrocarbons. As I've said, marine ecosystem, marine resources. So it is having hydrocarbon. Economically, it is fragile. Okay, not fragile, but economically, it is plenty of economical resources can be found over here. All right. That is why China claims the entire source of hydrocarbon of South China Sea by its own. All right, but Philippines says that the eastern part of the South China Sea, that is what West Philippine Sea. Okay, so whatever resources belongs to whatever resources are there in the West Philippine Sea or western side, eastern side of the South China Sea, that belongs to Philippines. All right, so this is the tussle between China and Philippines over South China Sea. So South China Sea, that is what? That is a marginal sea in Western Pacific Ocean, which is bounded by the shores of South China, Indo-Chinese Peninsula as well. Islands of Taiwan, island of Philippines and Borneo, Eastern Sumatra and Bangka Belitung Islands. And this is the region of huge economic and geostrategic importance. Geostrategic because of its location, okay, which is bounded by Pacific Ocean. All right, Western Pacific Ocean. And economic because we have discussed that it is having sources of hydrocarbons. So 1/3 of the world's maritime shipping passes through this region. It is believed that huge oil and natural gases reserves lies beneath in its seabed. So hydrocarbon means what? That is availability of natural gas and oil resources. Okay, so this is the importance of South China Sea, geostrategic strategic importance and economic importance. All right, and at such a place which is already tensed between China and Philippines, India and China had conducted this mock drill or exercise. All right, any questions in this? You can ask here. Next article is what? Labor Ministry to launch e-Shram portal. E-Shram portal means what? E-labor portal. All right. So Labor Ministry has launched this, or it is all set to launch this national database for unorganized workers. So e-Shram portal, basically that is a database for the unorganized workers. So basically in India, if you see, there are two types of workers or working environment, that is organized and unorganized. Organized, what we see, which is having who work with all their skills on the basis of these skills. Okay, they get employment on the basis of their skill acquisition, and they get regular salary and benefits. Unorganized, it means low skilled jobs where people lacks in salaries, they get wages basically, and it is also not fixed. Beta, who said that it is not belongs to China? Basically, because of its location, okay, South China Sea, where it is locating in the southern portion of the China. All right, that is why it is named as South China Sea. Okay, so it doesn't mean, for example, if Indo-Ocean is there, so does it belong to India? What's say only? It does not belong to India only. It belongs to all such surrounding oceans. There is a law for the ocean. Okay, there is a what is that? Global law on the ocean by United Nations. It has been established that any ocean or water body, for example, territorial expansion, if I say, so India's territorial expansion, if I say, so that is not only till the territory of India or the land, wherever land masses is there. So it is not limited to that land mass only, but it is beyond the land mass. It means till 12 nautical miles, India can have access, or India can say that this territory belongs to India. Okay, in the ocean body or in the water body, I'm saying. So similarly, if South China Sea is there, so because it is located at the southern portion of the China, that is why it is named globally as South China Sea. All right. It doesn't mean that it belongs to China only, or it does not belong to China. Because of its location, it is named as South China Sea. And okay, do one thing. Whenever you post any question, try to post it to everyone. Okay, not to me only. Another thing is that if it is not belongs to China, then why it is named after China? You have asked about it. Okay, so it doesn't mean that if it names after China, so it belongs to China, or it does not named after China, so it does not belong to China. The global law says that till nautical miles, any country which is a surrounding country of the water body, they have access to it. Okay, for example, if territory or the terrestrial or land mass of China that lies to the last tip, okay, which is now which is laying nearby the ocean body, water body, okay, ocean or water body. So it does not mean that only that land mass or till that land mass their Chinese claim would be. Chinese claim will be extended to 12 nautical mile, and beyond 12 nautical mile in the water. Nautical mile is a distance basically. Okay, that is distance. Bilkul, that is what I'm saying. I have given this example, Indian Ocean. I've already given this example. Okay. Similarly, beyond 12 nautical mile, there is up to 200 nautical miles. All such countries which is surrounding the water body. For example, South China Sea. All such countries like Philippines is there, Vietnam is there, China is there. Then there is another side. Other countries would also be in there, ASEAN countries. So every country will have access to this South China Sea water till the 200 nautical miles. It means every country will have their access till 200 nautical miles because it belongs to international water body. It converts into international water bodies. Okay, you might have heard this term, exclusive economic zone. Okay, so this exclusive economic zone, basically it is what that is beyond 12 nautical miles till 200 nautical miles. So every country would have claim over it. But here what China says, it claims that entire territory belongs to China. All right, this is the issue basically. It doesn't mean that whether it is named after China or does not named after China, so why it is claiming it. Okay. So if Indo-Ocean is there, so that doesn't mean it belongs to India only. It belongs to India till 12 nautical mile. And beyond 12 nautical mile till 200 nautical mile, all such countries which is surrounding Indo-Ocean, they have access to it. That is why they conduct such drills, mock drills. Recently, Malabar exercise has happened. Okay? Chalo. Now, Labor Ministry's e-Shram portal. So this, I was talking about organized and unorganized sector. So what unorganized sector is what? It is named as unorganized because there is no formal organization of the working or of the employment availability, benefits, okay, benefits in terms of salaries, wages, social security and everything. So that is what is called unorganized. There is no job security. First, there is no job availability and there is no job security. Okay, people can get job on the temporary basis. There is no permanency. Okay, that is what is called unorganized. So labor, and in fact, in India, if you see the employment sector, okay, or the employees or working population. So among working population, more than 80% population belongs to unorganized sector. Okay. So this portal will help in bringing millions of unorganized workers in India. I'm sorry. In India on a common platform. Just give me a second. Okay. So as per an estimate, 92% of the India's workforce of 500 million is unorganized. I have said only 80%, but it was 92%. So 92% of India's workforce of 500 millions, that belongs to unorganized sector. And they are often deprived of minimum wages and other forms of social security. Okay, that is the issue which is related to unorganized sector employees. All right. So for this, e-Shram portal has been announced or launched by the Labor Ministry. So what this e-Shram portal will provide? So basically it is a database, okay, database of all such unorganized sector workers. So this will be a single point reference that will help authorities to reach out and track workers across informal sectors. And it will also offer welfare in the time of crisis. It means this database will keep a track on the workers, whether they have found job, whether they have lost their job, whether they need any welfare measure, okay, or not in the time of crisis. That we have seen during COVID-19. What happened? Many of the workers, they lost their jobs. Unorganized workers, they lost their jobs. Okay, they lost their livelihoods. They lost social security. That wasn't there, but still they were on the daily wages, so they were earning something, but that earning had been lost. Because of this, Labor Ministry had come up with this e-Shram portal where a uniform database will be provided. Only workers have to feed up their details over there. Okay, and that will be work as a tracking system for the workers who are working across informal sectors. So this national database of unorganized workers that comprises of migrant workers, construction workers, gig and platform workers, domestic workers, street vendors, agricultural workers, migrant workers, and other such subgroups of unorganized workers. So this database of what's say belongs to this unorganized workers. So this database, what it will comprise of? It comprises migrant workers. It means those who has migrated from rural to urban areas in the search of job. Construction workers who are working at the construction sites. Gig and platform workers. Platform workers, it means those workers who are working on the online platform. Okay, gig workers, this is a type of temporary working. Okay, who's let's say working on the platform basis basically, and for a certain time period. Then domestic workers, it means domestic helps. Street vendors, it means those who are having their rallies and telas on the streets. Then agriculture workers, migrant workers, we have already talked about, White has mentioned over here, and other such subgroups of unorganized workers. Now, how workers can enroll on this portal? Because they are not educated. If they would have been educated, then they would have got good jobs. So how they will get enroll on this? So this portal will be available in the public for open access. And by using this platform, workers can self-enroll using their Aadhaar and mobile number. Only they have to approach such centers if they have information regarding such portal. So they have to approach such centers. They have to give their details regarding Aadhaar number and mobile number. Okay. So besides common service centers and selected post offices, it will also help in registration process where workers can visit and register themselves at no cost. So it will be free of cost, okay, for the registration. So work on the portal for unorganized workers, that was fast tracked when millions of workers had returned to their hometowns and amid nationwide lockdowns in April to May 2020 because of COVID-19. And it has resulted in the loss of jobs and livelihoods for millions of workers. We have already talked about it. And as per the recent released periodic labor force survey in India, 90% of workers in India, it was found that they belong to informal sector, which amounts to 419 millions out of 465 million workers. So it is such a huge number which belongs to unorganized sector workers. All right. So any questions in this, you can ask here. Yeah, that's true. No, worker, it means all, especially for workers we use for the unorganized people in the, or especially you can say, okay, or specifically. Laborers, not any general unemployed person. So if labor work, no, it is not like that. Workers, whenever we say, it belongs to unorganized workers, okay, or unorganized sectors. All right. It is not regarding managerial post. Now, next article, which you might have read in The Hindu few days before, that is private class stealth frigates to be delivered to India in 2023. And this collaboration had been taking place between India and Russia. So as per the head of United Shipbuilding Corporation of Russia, first of the two additional private class stealth frigates, okay, that is highest technology stealth frigates. Frigates are what? That is armory, okay, latest armory. So that are being built by Russia, and it is likely to be delivered to India by 2023. Both the countries, it means India and Russia, they have signed an intergovernmental agreement in October 2016 for the 4 Kryvak or Talwar class stealth frigates. Under this agreement, intergovernment agreement, the 2 frigates were to be procured directly from Russia, and the 2 to be built by Goa Shipyard Limited. It means 2 will get procured. 2 we will get from Russia, and another 2 will be built in India at the Goa Shipyard Limited. So following it, a $1 billion deal was signed for the direct purchase. It means for $1 billion, India will purchase this stealth frigate from Russia. And in November 2018, this GSL, that is Goa Shipyard Limited, had also signed a 500 million deal with Rosoboron Export of Russia to procure material. So this is what, this is a corporation which deals in such technologies. Okay, Rosoboron Export of Russia to procure material, design, and specialist assistance in order to locally manufacture the frigates. Following this, a contract had been signed between Ministry of Defense and the GSL in January 2019. It means Goa Shipyard Limited. So Defense Ministry and Goa Shipyard Limited, they have signed an agreement for the manufacturing of that stealth. Okay, where they have signed a deal of $500 million in which procurement will be taken place for from Russia through this Rosoboron Export Company. All right. Now, so their frigates had been built to operate Indian as well as Russian equipment. And the basic structure of the two frigates are ready at Yanta shipyard in Russia that will soon be completed. So 4 frigates we required, we have dealt for. 2 had to be constructed in Russia and 2 has to be constructed in India. So keel of the first ship. Keel is what? That is a kind of harbor, okay, which that is a kind of equipment which basically help the ship to stuck in the water, okay, or to be stable in the water. That is keel. So keel for the first ship to be built at Goa Shipyard Limited, and it was let in January 2021, while for the second ship in June, okay. Then keel laying symbolizes formal commencement of the construction process. So when keel manufacturing is taking place, it means they have formally commenced the construction process. That is the significance of the keel construction basically. Keel, I hope you understood that this is an equipment which help a ship to be stabilized in the water. Okay, so according to Navy, first ship will be delivered in 2026. Engines to be used in the ships are supplied by Zorya Nash project of Ukraine. Okay, so this is not important, but just for the information. So operational frigates in India, if I talk about, so Indian Navy currently are operating 6 Krivec class frigates that is weighing up to 4,000 tons. And what is frigate? Frigate is a type of warship that has been built for speed and maneuverability. Maneuverability, it means it is workable in every situation. So its speed is very faster, can work in every situation, every circumstances. And these could be warships that carry their principal batteries of carriage mounted guns on a single deck or 2 decks. Okay. So it will be equipped with high technology or latest technology, good speed, maneuverability. It is that is what frigate is. Okay, with different types of warfares or latest technology of armory and warfares. It is equipped with. Any questions in this? You can ask here. All right. So next article. Finance Minister launched National Monetization Pipeline Scheme. I hope you have read this article in the Hindu as well. National Monetization Pipeline. So what it is all about, we'll talk about it. So basically, Finance Minister had already announced about this scheme during her speech of budget in the month of February. So in this, what has happened? Basically, asset monetization has to be taken place. It means those projects or infrastructural projects that has to that government, what it will do, government will provide its construction to the private companies. Okay, so private companies will step into it or step into the infrastructure development, and they will take the project on the lease. It means government is not selling its asset, but government is providing this asset to the private companies on the lease for 4 years. And in those 4 years, government has to get the revenue of 6 lakh crore. Okay, that is a 6 lakh crore revenue government wants in the 4 years time period, and that is why they are providing the infrastructure projects on the lease to the private companies. Okay, so Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has unveiled a 4-year national monetization pipeline scheme on 23rd August 2021. That scheme was launched with the 6 lakh crore unlock value in the brownfield projects. What is the meaning of brownfield projects? Brownfield and greenfield, there are two types of project. Greenfield is newly initiative project, newly open project. Brownfield is already open project where investment is required. All right. So this national monetization pipeline, that is for the value getting in the brownfield project. And what is the value? That is 6 lakh crore value. Okay, government wants to earn in the 4th-year time period. It also engages the private sector. Who will invest? Private sector will invest. They will have the rights, but not the ownership in the project. It means they can have the what's say accessibility to the project through lease, not through purchasing. Ownership will belongs to government only. Government will only earn the revenue on it, and the responsibility will be given to the private sector to construct it. All right. So scheme will be using the funds for infrastructure creation across India. Under this scheme, roads, railways, and power sector. 3 sectors are there. Road, railways, and power sector. Assets would be comprising of more than 66% of the total estimated value of the assets to be monetized. All right. So only these 3 sectors will be taken care of in this scheme: roads, railway, and power sector, where assets would be comprising of more than 66% of the total estimated value of the assets to be monetized. It means monetization of the assets, that it means whatever assets of the government is there. If these 3 sectors we see, so the entire monetization, these 3 sectors comprises of 66% of the monetary value. Okay, so rest of the estimated value, it means 33%, that will come from the sectors like mining, telecom, ports, aviation, natural gas, warehouses, and stadium and petroleum product pipelines. Okay, so asset monetization, if I talk about it, means the government assets, all such government projects, that is called that is what government assets are there. Okay, it means government's property. So road, railway, and power, that comprises 66% of the total assets, and rest 33%, that rest in the various sectors like mining, telecom, ports, aviation, natural gas, warehouses, and stadiums, and petroleum products pipelines. All right. So estate investment trust and infrastructure investment trust are some of the structures that will be used to monetize assets in the roads and power sectors. All right. Now, what is the significance of this monetization? So basically, as per the finance minister, this monetization is going to help in creating further value for the infrastructure creation in India, and it will also explore innovative ways of private participation without transferring the government ownership. So it will have innovative methods or innovations in the construction of the infrastructure development. Another thing is that time-bound manner it is there. Next, government can earn profit on it. Government can revenue on it. Okay. So government do not need to invest or do not need to spend money on the infrastructure development. Who will do it? Private sector will do it. All right. Private sector, because private sector is known for its efficiency, is known for its technological skills. Why? Because they hire only those employees who is having good skills. Okay, who is having innovative minds. So that they will invest in the construction of or infrastructure development in the country. Okay. Yeah, beta, bilkul. Okay, power as what's a assets related to power, that obviously it consists of NTPC as well. All right. Now, key challenges of this scheme. So major key challenges in this national monetization program roadmap are, that is lack of identifiable revenue streams across various assets. For example, private sector they have talked about, but we do not know whether this private sector is legally it is getting money or not, if it is investing money in the infrastructure development. So whether the revenue, what government is getting from the private sector, so whether it is on the legal line or not, legitimate or not, that is the challenge. Then level of capacity utilization across gas and petroleum pipeline networks. Capacity utilization, it means private sector is there, private sector would work. All right. So private sector basically in the name of efficiency, in the name of time bound manner, it may happen that it may quality compromise. Okay. Then dispute resolution mechanism. Dispute resolution mechanism, basically it is one of the biggest problem in such projects. Okay. If any dispute arises regarding time bound, it has said, so if it is not get completed on time, if government could not get revenue what it has expire for, or any type of dispute if it arises. Okay. So what is the mechanism to resolution of such dispute? Then regulated tariffs in power sector assets. Okay. I'm sorry. So regulated regulated tariffs, if I talk about in the power sector, tariffs means what? That what is that? Taxation, a kind of, okay, what they have to pay, tariffs. So those tariffs need to be regulated. So who will provide this regulation on those tariffs in the power sector? All right. Then low interest among investors for national highways below 4 lanes. Low interest among investors, it means investors, they get low interest whatever amount they invest on the national highways, okay, below 4 lane projects. So there are different lane projects, 2 lanes, 4 lanes, 6 lanes. All right. So below 4 lane projects, those investors, they get low interest return or low interest return in the national highway infrastructure development. So these are some key challenges of the scheme that need to be addressed. Then assets in the national monetization program list. So it is not that important, but still we can talk about it. So assets on the national monetization list program list, that includes 26,700 kilometers of the road constructions, railway stations, train operations, and tracking system. Okay, tracks, it means railway tracks. All right. Then 28,608 CKT kilometer of power transmission lines. It means power transmission lines of 20 more than 28,000 kilometers. Then 6 gigawatt of hydroelectric and solar power assets. Then 86 lakh kilometer of fiber assets and 14,917 towers in the telecom sector. So fiber is related to telecom sector. All right. Then 8,154 kilometer of natural gas pipelines and 3,930 kilometer of petroleum product pipelines. So these are those assets, okay, enlisted under the national monetization program list, on which government will provide monetization program to the private sector to work upon. All right, so that is there. Any questions in this? You can ask here. No, it has mentioned that it is not privatization. Privatization means what? That when government would have sold it to the private companies, then it would have been said that it was privatized. But here government is only having the access to the revenue. For example, private sector will lead into it, okay, for the construction. So private sector will have these constructions, or they will lead to this construction on the basis of leasing of the property. Okay, for example, road construction is there. Okay, so government, private sector will take this project on the lease for certain years, for the 4 years time period. So when it is taking it on the lease, then what it will do, it will finish it off, it will construct it off. Okay, and government, because it has provided it on the lease is a type of rent. Okay, is a type of rent. So what government will get? Government will get revenue in the return. Okay, lease amount in the return. All right. Privatization means when government sell off. Okay, when government sell that share of the government to the private body, that is called privatization. Okay, that private sector is purchasing that particular portion of the asset. Monetization means what? That, for example, there is a road, a national highway construction is there. Okay. So for this construction, they will estimate an amount that this much amount is required. Okay. So private sector tender will be given. So private sector will say that we can construct this road network in this much amount. Okay. So what government will do? Government will give that area to the private sector for certain time period, and government will get rent in the return of it, because they have provided that road network on the lease to the private body. Okay. That is what I'm saying, leasing out. Okay. Renting out, that is what I'm saying. All right. So privatization when government will sell it off. Monetization when government will provide it on the lease. Okay, Dharni. So it will not lead to privatization, but it will lead to the monetization. Why it is called monetization? Because government is earning revenue on it. That is what monetization is. Okay. Yes, exactly. Privatization means not complete, partially as well, as you can say. So if it would have sold it off to the private body, then we can say that it is privatization. But it is monetization because it means government is going to earn money in return of it. Okay? Chalo. Now, Malabar naval exercise that has been held on 26th of August. So navies of India, USA, Australia, and Japan. Basically, Malabar exercise, that is the military or militarization of Quad partnership. Okay. So Quad members, India, USA, Australia, and Japan. That is a strategic cooperation between the four countries who represent Indo-Pacific region. Okay, Indo-Pacific region. And here, the militarization of the Indo-Pacific, Quad partnership, that is what Malabar exercises. Malabar is the region, okay, in the Indo-Ocean body, which is near to Kerala, coast of Kerala. So navies of India, USA, Australia, and Japan, they have conducted the Malabar naval exercise from 26th August 2021. And the sea drill will be conducted off the Guam Island. Guam Island that belongs to USA. It is a territory of USA in the Indo-Pacific Ocean. So it is located 25 kilometers east of the Philippines. Okay. Philippines, if you remember, we have discussed South China Sea issue. So nearby Philippines, there is what? West Pacific Ocean. There lies West Pacific Ocean. So this Guam Island that belongs to USA, which is lying in the Pacific Ocean or Indo-Pacific stretch, you can say. So before this, so it was named on the Malabar because it has conducted for the first time at the Malabar coast. All right. So annual exercise will be 4-day affair. It will be conducted with the aim of enhancing interoperability, gaining from the best practices, developing a common understanding of the procedures required for the maritime security operations. So I hope you are clear with the term interoperation or interoperability. We have discussed already these things in the previous exercises. So series of complex surface, underwater, and air operations will be conducted as the part of the drills. So this Malabar exercise, basically, it is a widened approach of the exercise where they use different techniques, where they use different methods, where they use different ways, basically. So we have discussed that few of the exercises that used to be naval exercise, joint military drills, these type of exercise. But in Malabar, what they do, they conduct this exercise at all the levels, whether it is under the water, whether it is on the surface, whether it is in the air. Okay, so it is covering all such areas. All right. Now, so Malabar exercise, that is an annual naval exercise between navies of India, USA, Australia, and Japan. And it had alternatively in the Indian Ocean as well as in the Pacific Ocean. So last year it has held in the Indian Ocean only, in the Malabar, at the Malabar coast, and this year it is held at the Guam Island in the Pacific Ocean. So background of this, if we say, so this had been started as a bilateral naval exercise between India and USA in 1992. Then in 2015, it had been expanded into trilateral format by including Japan into it. Okay, in 2015. Then in November 2020, Australia had also been invited. If you remember, lots of discussions had been going on in the newspaper. We have read about this. So Australia had been invited and India agreed to join Australia because Australia was already partner of Quad, and Malabar is militarization of the Quad. So Australia had been formally invited by India by agreeing it to join the exercise on the India's request. All right. So what is the aim of this exercise? Basically, this is conducted annually with the aim to support a free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region. And the real reason behind it, that is to counter China in the Indo-Pacific region. All right. But here what it is said that it is aiming to support free, open and inclusive Indo-Pacific region, also remains committed to the rule-based international order in the maritime domain, also seeks to achieve interoperability with an emphasis on the humanitarian assistance, anti-submarine warfare, gunnery training, surface war maneuvers, counter-terror or terror operations, and air surveillance. Okay, so as I've said that in this exercise, they conduct the drills at all the levels, beneath the surface, it means under the water, on the surface and in the air. Okay, so all such type of drills they conduct. Okay, and they have to achieve interoperability with an emphasis on the humanitarian assistance. Okay, it means assistance of not only technology but of men as well. All right, and then anti-submarine warfare they will use, and gunnery training. Okay, that is warfare training. All right. Then Australia, how it has been included into the Malabar exercise. As we have discussed about that in 2020, it became part of this Malabar exercise. So issue of the inclusion of Australia in the Malabar, that has been discussed at the Quad Foreign Ministry Ministers meeting in the Tokyo in October 2020. And after this meeting, India invited Australia to join the exercise. Decision had been taken with the goal of enhancing the ability of India, Japan, Australia, and USA to work jointly towards bringing peace and stability across Indo-Pacific region. So Quad, which is a strategic partnership between all the four countries, and Malabar, that is militarization, and the aim is to provide peace and stability across Indo-Pacific region. That is the aim of this Malabar exercise. Any questions in this? You can ask here. No questions? Now, Indian Oil to build India's first green hydrogen plant. What is that? So Indian Oil is going to build India's first green hydrogen plant at Mathura refinery. Okay, so it will be at Mathura refinery, and this will be an addition in order to expand the existing crude oil refining capacity by 25 million tons per annum. So here, crude oil production will be taking place in India only with the use of green hydrogen plant. So Indian Oil, that has been pursuing its ambitious plan of hydrogen production across various types, like renewable power to generate green hydrogen. And in the recent time, Indian Oil had conducted a recent hydrogen fuel cell experiment in Delhi, in which 50 CNG BS4 buses had been converted to run on HCNG, that is hydrogen CNG fuel. And this experiment has revealed significant benefits in reducing exhaust emissions and improving fuel economy. So two ways it is helping. It is improving the, reducing the emissions, improving the pollution, pollution level, you can say. So improvement in the air pollution, you can say. Another thing is what it has improved fuel economy. Okay, it means fuel economy means what, that it is more efficient if we use green hydrogen. Then Indian Oil is also and its burning capacity is very less. Okay, burning point is very less. So Indian Oil is also in process to set up 1 ton per day capacity pilot plants on the basis of 4 innovative hydrogen production technologies. And it will also operate 15 fuel cell buses in Delhi NCT or National Capital Region, sorry, Delhi NCR region, along with Tata Motors. That is the idea, that is the aim of this project. So Indian Oil, that is India's largest fuel refiner and crude oil importer, is in not only developing hydrogen fuel, but also it has planned to expand biofuel manufacturing. So it will develop hydrogen fuel, and it is also planning to expand biofuel manufacturing. Then, to strengthen environmental stewardship, this Indian Oil Corporation is setting second generation and third generation ethanol plant at Panipat refinery. So here it is setting up hydrogen production of oil, or green hydrogen production at the Mathura refinery, and second and third generation ethanol plant at the Panipat refinery. So 2G plant will have the capacity of 100 kiloliters per day, and it will use rice straw to produce ethanol. So second and third generation, basically it belongs to the um, product which they are going to use. So in second generation, they will use rice straw. In third generation, they will use sugarcane. Okay. And the capacity at which level they are going to produce it. So at Mathura refinery, this green hydrogen production has to be taken place. So that is the sixth refinery which is owned by the Indian Oil Corporation, and it is located in Mathura, that is in Uttar Pradesh. It processes low sulfur crude from Bombay, high sulfur crude from Middle East, and imported low sulfur crude from Nigeria. And activities, that is it also its construction had started in October 1972, when Prime Minister Indira Gandhi had laid the foundation stone of this refinery. Okay, so these are some of the important points. You can have or you can read this for the prelims paper. Next article is about eco-sensitive zone for Deepore Beel Wildlife Sanctuary. You might have read this article in today's The Hindu. Deepore Beel. Deepore Beel, basically, it is the only Ramasar site in Assam. What is Ramasar site? Basically, these are wetlands. Okay, wetlands which has been identified under Ramasar Convention. All right. So Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, they have notified eco-sensitive zone of the Deepore Beel Wildlife Sanctuary on the southwestern edge of Guwahati. Here you can see in the map at the right hand side where Deepore Beel is. Okay, so here this is the location where Deepore Beel is located. So Deepore Beel, basically it is a wetland. Wetland means that it is comprises of water and as well as territory. Okay, so water and territory it is comprises of. So basically rail and road construction has to be taken place over here, and this issue is not new. Basically the construction of road and railway networks, and this area is eco-sensitive. Okay, eco-sensitive zone, it is eco-sensitive zone means that ecologically it is fragile. Okay, it is in the danger. All right, so yeah. Yeah. So this Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change has notified the eco-sensitive zone of the Deepore Beel Wildlife Sanctuary and southwestern edge of the Guwahati. That is Assam's only Ramasar site and an important bird area. So now see, Deepore Beel is a wildlife sanctuary. It is important bird area of Assam, and it is only Ramasar site of Assam. So please remember this fact. All right. Specified an area to an extent which is varying 294 kilometers to 16.32 kilometers as the eco-sensitive zone, with the total area that is being 148.9767 square kilometer. No new commercial hotels and resorts shall be permitted within 1 kilometer of the boundary of the protected area. Protected area, basically that is the area which is protected under Government of India, and under this area no construction can be taken place because of its eco-sensitivity or ecologically fragile condition. All right, except for the small temporary structures for ecotourism activities. So to promote ecotourism activities, it means ecologically tourism. Okay, ecological tourism. It means tourism can be promoted, but under the ambit of ecology, or under the ambit of, let's say, what is it to be called? Ecological protection, you can say. All right. So ecology could not be hampered, and without hampering the ecology, tourism can be promoted. That is what ecological tourism activities. So that can be taken place for the temporary, as a temporary or small structures. New wood-based industries will be set up in the eco-sensitive zone by using 100% imported wood stock. Activities prohibited in the eco-sensitive zones are hydroelectric projects, commercial use of firewood, and discharge of untreated effluents in the natural water bodies or land areas. So these are those activities which is known as prohibited activities in the eco-sensitive zones, and which led to the eco-sensitization or eco-sensitivity in the area. Okay, these are hydro electric projects, commercial use of firewood, discharge of untreated effluents in the natural water bodies or land areas. All right. So what are the issues basically? So city waste as well as industrial effluents, that is causing serious problem to the ecological and environmental values of the rich wetland, that is the Dipor wetland. And it is also causing a threat to all life forms and ecosystems in the Dipor. All right, so this is the issue basically what the power bill is facing. That is ecological and environmental values in the rich wetlands is in the serious problem because of industrial effluents and city waste. Okay, that is solid waste. And it is causing threat to the life forms and ecosystem in the power bill. So Deepar Bill, which is located in the southwest of the Guwahati city in Kamrup, Assam, and also a wetland under Ramsar Convention. We have already talked about it. If we talk about its vegetation and fauna, flora and fauna, so aquatic vegetation, that is giant water lily, water hyacinth, aquatic grasses, water lilies, and other submerged, emergent, floating vegetations are found during the summer season. And in deep open water area, marshy lands, mud flats, emergent vegetation. Emergent means what? Which is emerging from the water. Okay, emerging outside from the water. That is emergent vegetation. Water net grasslands patches are reported over here. And it is also a natural habitat to many varieties of birds. 219 species of the birds, that includes more than 70% migratory species, had been reported in this Dipor Bill area. Siberian crane, they regularly migrates for its habitation. Okay. Wild Asian elephants, leopard, jungle cat, Chinese porcupine, and sambar, that also found in the Dipor Bill area. All right. So it supports a large number of aquatic as well as fauna. Okay, as well as faunal species. So that is why it is very, very important ecologically, and because of that importance and growing pollution in the water and in the surrounding areas, it is very much required to provide sensitization. All right. And government need to take some steps to control growing pollution over there. And because it is an international, it is recognized as an international site, that is Ramsar site under Ramsar Convention. So it need to be protected by Government of India. All right, that is all. So this is all about this article. Any questions you can ask here? Next article is about hydropower projects in Himalayas. So hydropower project in the Himalayan region. So Himalayas also comes in or falls under eco-sensitive zone. Okay, ecologically fragile zone. Central Ministries of Jal Shakti, Environment, they have agreed. Jal Shakti, why? Because hydropower project has to be conducted. And Environment Ministry, because of its ecological fragile condition. So that is why these two ministries are involved in this. So Central Ministries of Jal Shakti and Environment have agreed to a consensus on the future of hydroelectric power projects in Uttarakhand region. 7 hydroelectric projects in Uttarakhand have been allowed to complete its construction, primarily on the grounds that they were over 50% complete. Okay, so primarily those construction sites that is already initiated, that has already been initiated, and 50% has been completed. So these 7 projects are Chihri at the second stage, Tapovan, Vishnugarh, which is impacted by February 2021 Rishi Ganga flood, then Vishnugarh, Pipalkoti, Singoli, Bhatwari, Fata, Bhuyang, Madhya Maheshwar, then Kali Ganga second stage. All right, so these are those 7 projects, which is hydropower projects that has to be complete its construction in the Uttarakhand region or Himalayan region, you can say. No other new projects will be allowed in the upper reaches of Ganga. Those sanctioned would have to abide by the environment regulations that prescribe a minimum flow in the river at all the times of the year to preserve its health. So here, because these projects is being constructed in the eco-sensitive zone, and we know that most of the river system or of North India, like Ganga, Yamuna, all right, various tributaries of Ganga. So these flows are through these areas, okay, these Himalayan regions. And this is these tributaries and rivers, basically, they are in their youth stage, okay, when they flow through Himalayan region. So here it becomes very important, its ecological health becomes very important. All right. So government has agreed to complete regarding the completion of all these 7 projects, but no new project has to be taken place in this area because of its sensitivity or ecological fragile condition. All right. And the construction can only be done at the lower reaches of the Ganga, okay, not at the upper reaches of the Ganga. So multiple expert committees had been set up to examine the feasibility of the hydroelectric projects in the Himalayan region. There have been frequent agitations regarding hydropower development in the fragile Himalayas. Okay. Reasons are what? Because this Himalaya that is lying in the high seismic zone, that is coincide with the areas of high population concentration in Himalayan region where landslides, glacial lake outbursts, floods are very common. We have seen recently, a few days back or in a month back, or I think in the month of August only, landslide had been happened in the Himalayan region. Okay, why? Because of eco-sensitive zone it is. Okay, so it cannot sustain high developmental projects over there, any barrier in the river flow. All right, so it cannot sustain for the long time. Okay, so it can appear in the form of earthquake, in the form of landslide, in the form of any other type of natural calamity. All right, glacial lake burst, you can say. So floods have damaged the tunnels and topography of the projects. About 15% of the great earthquakes of 20th century, where magnitude had been found more than 8, had occurred in the Himalayan region only. Heavy siltation, giant landslides is expected in the project sites and headwater capacity and life expectancy of such dams. All right. Projects leads to deforestation, causing diversity loss in the forest ecosystem, and it affects the communities depending on the forest of their livelihood. So these are those reasons. Okay. Then unsustainable construction of dams without proper environmental assessment is incredibly detrimental to environment, biodiversity, and local people. So because of these lacking in the sensitivity, uh, its consequences can be faced in terms of natural calamities like landslides, earthquakes, lake burst, okay, glacial lake burst, where people's lives put at the stake, okay. Infrastructural degradation can be taken place. So lots of things, lots of consequences can be faced if eco-sensitivity could not be taken in the mind while initiating the construction. All right, or environmental impact assessment has not been taken place before its construction. So those are the reasons. So any questions in this, you can ask here. No questions? Chalo. So that was all for the day. I hope it is helpful for you. I'll share this document with all the students. Very soon you'll get this document. So till then, thank you so much. We'll see you in the next session. Till then, have a nice day. Have a nice weekend. Bye bye. Take care. Good night.